Welcome to the Math Map Week 19 Open Shapes. Welcome to 3D, everyone! This week we explored what three-dimensional means. We sang the dimension song to review 0D, 1D, 2D, and entered 3D. I'll put a link to that song in the description below. Our primary focus for this week was to explore and attend to three-dimensional space. I'll be giving you some fun recommendations for hands-on ideas for exploring 3D a little later in this video. But first, the cover. The art this week brought to mind Cycle 1 Science for weeks 9 through 12. Seed plants, parts of plants, leaf shapes, parts of a flower, plant systems, all of which were really fun. The quote by Philip Davis had a plethora of unknown vocabulary to us, so we looked up unknown words in the dictionary. Then we identified the paradoxes listed in the prayer of Saint Ignatius of Loyola. This led into my conversation starter questions. What are some other contradictions or paradoxes you know about? Can you think of some Bible verses, perhaps, where it looks like a paradox at first, but it's just revealing a deeper truth? We'll get into that in just a moment, too. In the same way, there are paradoxes in math. We still rely on 2D drawings to represent 3D ideas. So this week was all about naming, defining, attending, and exploring 3D. So our first new grammar for week 19 is the definition of 3D, found on the invention page and on chart page C19-1. So what is the definition of 3D? 3D is a space represented by an intersection of three orthogonal axes. Orthogonal is a fancy way of saying perpendicular. What does that look like? You can make 3D orthogonal axes by using your hand. Point your pointer finger forward, third finger to the side, and your thumb straight up. And that illustrates for us the three orthogonal axes. Along with this, 3D space is defined with infinite length, infinite width, and infinite height. So we held our hands like this as we sang our song and traced along the X, Y, and Z axes. Are you ready to hear it? Okay, here we go. 3D is an intersection of three orthogonal axes with infinite length, infinite width, and infinite height. This was what we spent most of our time exploring this week. You can draw a flower in 2D. You can sculpt a flower with clay or Play-Doh in 3D. The Super Mario games are classified into 2D and 3D. At first, they were all 2D as Super Mario moved left to right and up and down, and the characters and items were flat 2D shapes. The first 3D Super Mario game was Super Mario 64. You can move Mario in all directions. Now you can move away from you, towards you, as well as left and right, up and down. And the characters and items also became 3D in their design. I have a 2D Super Mushroom on this side and a 3D Super Mushroom on this side. Going from 2D to 3D changed video games forever. Our second new grammar for week 19 is octant. What is an octant? The three orthogonal axes divide space into 8 octants. We learned this new grammar on our second day as we attended to the invention page and on page 9. My daughter said it reminded her of a Rubik's Cube. So I got us a 2x2 Rubik's Cube. Did y'all know this existed? This is super fun. This puzzle cube is a great hands-on manipulative to explore the octants in 3D. And this is like a good elementary introduction to the Rubik's Cube. Our third new grammar for this week is spherical coordinate system. We discussed the difference between polar coordinate system, 2D circles, and spherical coordinate system, 3D spheres. Our last new grammar is open shapes. I was surprised there was not a definition of open shapes in the charts. Maybe I missed it. If you can find it in the week 19 booklet, please let me know where it is in the comments below. I appreciate it. So I asked Tristan, and he looked at the charts, specifically page chart 19-1, and right here in the domain, in human space domains and human space, domain, relation, and range. He said that he thinks in this context, open shapes refers to graphs of equations in 3 variables, where you see z equals f, open parentheses, xy, close parentheses. That would include lines, planes, and other surfaces. So think of it this way, open shapes is surface. Next week, we learn about solid shapes. To wrap up our week 19, we each held a tissue box and looked at the illustration on the back of the booklet as we held up our tissue boxes. We attended to the points, segments, and planes on our tissue box to help us understand the concept of 3D. Our gospel connection is from the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 16, verse 23, where we read, "Then Jesus told his disciples, 'If anyone would come after me, let him deny himself and take up his cross and follow me. For whoever would save his life will lose it, but whoever loses his life for my sake will find it.' The gospel of the Lord. Praise to you, Lord Christ." When we follow Jesus, we are constantly dying to self as we love and serve others as Christ did, with God's Holy Spirit living in us and giving us abundant life. It may seem like a paradox at first, but what we really are doing is entering a spiritual dimension that reveals a deeper truth than the physical dimension. And that wraps us up for week 19. I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, please subscribe and share. Thank you for watching and have fun learning.